Hi, my name is Jamal Sanders, personal trainer and nutrition educator. Today what I'm going to do is show you some really inspiring ways to get ready for the spring. So I hope that you're excited to learn some new exercises in agility, core. There'll be a warm-up and a cool down. Let's get started. Alright, so the first part of this warm-up is specific to the area of the body that you're about to use. So if you're going to throw a ball, one of the parts of your body would be your shoulder. So you're going to start out with your feet a little bit wider than hip width apart. That's what we call the ready position. It means you're ready for whatever's about to come at you. Next thing you're going to do is put your arm up at a right angle, and just so your other arm has something to do, you can just put your hand on your hip. Okay, so from here you're going to rotate internally and then rotate externally. Alright, so you get internal rotation and external rotation. Now what I'm doing as I rotate this arm in and out is I'm getting the blood circulating inside the area that I'm about to use. This is a part of the specific warm-up for my shoulder. This is going to allow me to play ball, to play tennis, or otherwise. Once you've completed about 8 repetitions, you're just going to place that hand on your side and go over to the other side. And continue. Internally and externally. Now you might notice there's a point that you stop on the way down. And the rule pretty much is that you stay in the pain-free range of motion. For me, it's right about there. But it might be different for you. And continue. Okay, now the next step is we want to elevate your heart rate because we don't want you to start your activity cold, so we want to increase your body's temperature. Alright? And this time we're even going to include our legs in the movement. So it would look just like this. You go across the torso, bend the knees, and then you go up and externally rotate. So it'll look like this. Down, up and back. Up and back. Now, while you're doing this, the rule pretty much is that you just want your head up and chest up, and you still want that arm to externally rotate back. If you can just picture taking something from your midsection and throwing it behind you. It might be an obstacle to your fitness results. Whatever the case is, you want to put it back. From there, you go over to the other side and do the same thing. Externally rotate back. And now you can really feel where your heart rate's starting to go up a little, and you're still preparing your arm for whatever sport you're about to play or activity you're about to do. Good, and stop. Okay, great. You can take a couple seconds and just kind of let your arms shake loose. We want you to be warming up, but we also want you to be relaxed and most of all having fun. So now that your shoulders are prepared, the next thing to get ready is the muscles of your chest. So what we're going to do is go from the ready position, and I just want you to picture a line down the center of your mat. And we're just going to put both feet on either side of that line. Both hands go along the line, and from here we'll open and close. Open and close. Okay. Now it's pretty much the same rules as for your shoulder rotations. You don't want to go too far back into extension. You pretty much want to stop in the anatomical position, which means that where your body is where your hands stop. We don't want to go into hyper extension. Okay, so we close and open. And this time we can estimate about 20 seconds, and we just want to get a regular rhythm going for this movement. And we can still feel the heart rate going up, and we're starting to get a little warmer. Good, and so you're going to continue to open and close. Everything starts and stops right in that center line. For others, the progression might do well is to add a little hop. In your hop, you want to stay soft in the joints. So you have very soft landings, which means your knees are slightly bent, and you're going to use your ankles, knees, and hips to absorb the movement. You want to continue for about 10 seconds and then come down to a stop. the spring is right around the corner, and a lot of you are thinking about getting out to do some running. But in order to run the best way, you have to use good technique. Bend at the elbow, okay? And I just want you to move the arm from front to back on the hinge, from your face to your pocket. Every once in a while, stop and remind yourself to maintain a right angle, not a straight arm, and certainly not less. Right at 90 and continue. Pocket to face, pocket to face. Good. Hands open. We don't want any tension in the hands, and an open hand slices through the air a lot better than a fist. Okay? So we're going to open the hands and continue. Good. Keep going. Now the next thing you should know about the arm action is that it involves your core. So this is also a warm-up for a later segment in this video to help you strengthen your midsection. And that is that your obliques, your stabilizing muscles, have to work just to keep your body from turning like this, which is how you see a lot of people run. So today I want you to picture your fitness goals, which are straight in front of you. And I want you to move everything straight towards that goal. And continue. Good, and stop. Good, so the progression is a rebound. And I want to just quickly, as we're moving, define what rebounding is the ability to quickly start and stop without losing posture. In terms of a principle of life, it means that no matter how often you fall, that you develop the ability to quickly get back up. In this case, we're going to do that with our foot. So we're going to go from here, and as soon as the foot touches the ground, it rebounds up. Now on the opposite end, a lot of people run downward, which means they press down into the ground on every stride. I want you to picture a string on your knee, and every time your foot touches the ground, the string lifts it back up. It's the same thing that happens with us. Up, 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 and up, and stop. We've already talked about your foot recovery. We've already worked on your arm action, and now there's also your stride length. Now, a great way to improve stride length is through a traditional lunge. And the lunge from your side view would look exactly like this. It's a big step forward. The back knee leads the movement on the way down to the ground. When I reach the ground, I want my back straight, head up and chest up, and my front knee behind my toe, and I return to the starting position. Now let's turn that same lunge into a stride, and it would look exactly like this. For this one, we're going to put our hands on our waist. We'll step one recovery, out and down. It resembles the same motion that your feet would take if you were riding a bicycle. As they say, it's like riding a bike. And just as a way to put everything into action that we've done together, we're going to try a sequence that involves a recovery, lunge, and stride all in one. It'll be the same thing as starting, stopping, and returning again. It'll be the same thing as a rebound, okay? So we're gonna start out with the recovery, opposite arm, opposite leg, into lunge, stride, back to lunge, and stance. Recovery. Okay, so I'm going to show you a series of activities that you can do to cool down, and they involve the use of your core muscles. Alright, so you're just going to use the distance of your mat, and we're going to start out in a traditional plank. Now with the plank pose, there are two versions that you can do. The first one is modified, where you fold your feet in toward your trunk, and just maintain a 45-degree angle on your body. For others that may have more experience with plank pose, you may want to revert to the full posture and lifted knees from the floor. For others who might be planning activity after the cool down, you may wish to add a walking motion to your plank. The next step in the progression is the side plank. Transition to your elbows. This is the full side plank. Otherwise, you can modify the plank by bending your bottom knee and just hold for an estimated 15 seconds. Others may choose to add movement to the side plank. Now, it's good if you can hold the side plank for at least 10 to 15 seconds. If you find that you can't hold the plank, then you do want to modify it by bending the bottom knee. Good. From here, you're coming down to your side, and we're just going to release the front knee. Always remember that right angle, and the back knee does the same. It's called a 90-90 hip stretch. And once that knee is in line with your hip, you're just going to tip forward to a long spine until you feel a stretch right along the upper end of your forward leg, and hold. Now we'll help to strengthen this area or to prepare it prior to activity just by extending the back leg. Let's start out with your right. So we'll have the back right leg straight and the lead left arm extended out to the front. From here, we want to make the body as long as we can without curving the spine or without extending it, hyperextending it. Neutral neck position means that I'm not looking back, and I'm not going to strain the muscles in my neck by looking up. I'm going to keep my eyes on the floor, lower and lift. Again, we exhale on the exertion for this exercise is on the way up. Let's try 8 on each side. And when you get to the 8th repetition, you hold and count to 10. And careful on your way back down. Laying down flat with the hands next to the body. And when we come up, it's opposite arm, opposite leg, much the same way we did with the recovery. Then back down. Exhale on the way up and down. Now it's a good idea upon completing your set to just give your lower back a little relief. One knee in towards your chest, and the opposite knee bent. That'll take some of the compression off your spine. Elbows proud and shoulders relaxed. Then allow both hands to fall behind your knee. Just extend the leg straight up for a hamstring stretch and down. Exhale on your way up and down. Finally, you stretch the bottom leg and rotate the top knee across the body, not further than it wants to go, and just work the back arm from the top to the bottom. Sides. into the chest. And rest. I wish you all the best for those of you who tuned in to watch this video. Special thank you to Best Self and the owners of this beautiful home here in Marbletown, New York, who made it possible for us to film this video. Thank you.